What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Crypto Sherpa Show, where I cover the latest cryptocurrency news articles to keep you informed on what's going on and what is going on. It was a crazy weekend, so I hope all you were staying warm over the weekend, but hopefully didn't get shaken out by the crypto dip that occurred. We were like literally at $87,000 last week, 85. We're already feeling that dip, and then we dipped even further. What happened? What's going on? So much news. Like, could it be from the Groundhog Day? Today is Groundhog Day, so happy Groundhog's Day. Could it be because Punxsutawney, how do you say his name? Punxsutawney. Yeah, so Punxsutawney Phil just saw his shadow, so he's the groundhog up in, where even was this at? Where do they do this usually at? I feel like it's up north, but he saw a shadow, so it's showing 6 more weeks of winter. So brace for more Bitcoin coldness happening, because we still could go a little bit more. I've been saying that for a little bit now after I've been listening to Ivan on tech a lot. Just the technicals make sense, because we're looking at the 200-day or the 200-week moving average for crypto, and it's always been around like 50,000. It's been moving up. Right now we're at 58,000, but we're seeing the Bitcoin price come closer to us. So when it gets to here, then we can start seeing some movement again. But again, could this be 6 weeks? Could this be 6 months? We don't know, but it's just still bearish territories now. And that's just one source of the news that happened. We also got news over the weekend of the Epstein files claiming they talked with Satoshi or some of the developer teams out there. So people are going, uh-oh, those guys got involved in it in Bitcoin. Have we been really all in this Ponzi? So this is just more fuel to the fire. Like, I really didn't think nothing of this, where it was, the 2016 email from Jeffrey Epstein claims he had spoken to some of the founders, and then people just like really just feeding the fuel. So 75% of Bitcoin's code comes directly from Jeffrey Epstein. Oh no. So we basically funded an elite global pedophile ring since 2015. I feel sick. So this is the narrative that's just going out there right now. So it's just more fuel to cause the price of Bitcoin, even though like I think that's nothing, just noise just to continue shaking the price. Because like what's going on this week still even more. I think they had either Trump or someone up north, like they put together a team with the banks and to talk about more stable coins and more policies there. So that's going on today. I think it happened an hour ago. So I'll bring you updates on that tomorrow when we get the facts on what they discussed, what they're going to do, and so on. But yeah, so we have the Groundhog seeing its shadow. We got Epstein files linking to Satoshi Nakamoto, and then what else do we have? Oh yeah, so apparently BlackRock's depositing more Bitcoin to their Coinbase account, which is a sign of selling. So it's just been red news. So it makes sense for Bitcoin's price to go down. We're getting a little rebuttal, but that's probably just because of Monday, markets open, traditional markets got in. So like this is a nice little pump, but we may go down again. Seeing it tomorrow in a few hours. Who knows when that's going to happen, but that's what it just seems like what's going to happen unless we get some huge news. But it also makes sense for why we're in extreme fear territory, because we dipped down to 15 since last week when I did my show on Friday. We were like at 29 fear territory, but now because of everything going on, the market is just fearful. So wish I can bring you some more hope into it. The only hope I can really bring you is just like, this is what happens in between when we get these huge Bitcoin price surges and dips. Everyone's always euphoric during the bull run. It's like, all-time highs, it's great. But then there are cycles in crypto where there's like 3 or 4 years. Right now it's probably different. Could be only less than a year that we experience this. But no, there's cycles where it's down and people just seem to forget about like that process in the middle. Everyone's always just so focused on we're going up. But when we're down here, it's Bitcoin's dead. I don't want to get into it. So it's like the biggest difference between like wealthy people and poor-minded people, where Walmart is like showing a sell on goods. Poor rush over to grab the deal. But when it comes to solid assets, Bitcoin's down. Oh no, I'm not touching that. So it really just shows where your mentality is too. But all I know is like this is just the middle part. Bitcoin is still going to go up in the future. How long is that going to be? 6 weeks, 6 months, a year or two till the next halving. I just know eventually Bitcoin will be back up top. And again, it depends on why you're in Bitcoin. Are you in it for the long-term wealth? Are you trying to get a quick buck? If it's a quick buck, then this is not good news for you. But if you're in it for the long haul, generational wealth, you're trying to build an asset for your kids, your grandchildren, these dips don't really matter to you. You're just going to buy in and add to that stash pile. So your next generation, your next of kin has a chance to succeed where you haven't had the opportunity to. So I wish there was more there was bullish news for you on Bitcoin, but it's a fun news. I'm just here to hopefully ease some tensions on the Epstein, Groundhog Day. And so it's like I'm just hopefully trying to ease this a little bit. I ain't selling, I'm still holding. MicroStrategy's still buying, but why does that man keep buying the top? I love how Ivan on tech said, how do you always buy so expensive? Because we got news today, or was it yesterday, that Strategy has acquired another 855 Bitcoin for $75.3 million at $87,974 per coin. So it's like, wait, what? Like, when did he make this buy? Like, they announced it yesterday, so the 1st. But when we look at the weekly chart, Bitcoin wasn't at that price since last Friday, the 29th. I believe that was a day. So was this when he made that purchase right before market started going down? But he's always buying it. But hey, it doesn't matter to Strategy. There's been plenty of videos out there of him also saying, like, it doesn't matter if Bitcoin even went to $1 because people fear that he's going to be liquidating everything. He just says if Bitcoin went down to $1, we're just going to buy more. We're just going to buy all of it then at that point. Because again, but I doubt he really could, because if Bitcoin actually went to $1, the competition of everyone trying to get it at that price, because it will not be there long. But yeah, so nothing to worry about Sailor. But Sailor bought more Bitcoin, but he bought high. So I guarantee next week, maybe sometime this week, he'll announce more purchasing, but usually every week they're always buying. So we're waiting for Sailor to give us that signal on when he's going to be buying more, because usually he does it with bubble charts. Like if you follow him on Twitter, you'll see the more orange bubbles. He posted this on February 1st. So usually once he posts this, the next day we get the word that he bought the Bitcoin. So I guarantee he's not stopping. He's not scared. He's going to continue buying. So yeah, so that's some pretty good news about that. And then what else do we have in the news? Some more bullish news, like who did buy it right was Binance. They added 1,315 Bitcoin worth $100.7 million to their Seifu fund per Arkham. Now, we got word on this last Friday. They said they're going to be transitioning over from that Seifu fund just as a reserve backup in case anything ever happened. So they're moving it from that stablecoin to Bitcoin. They said they were going to do it, and now we get on-chain metrics actually showing us. That's what I love about Bitcoin, just the transparency of it. We can see everything on-chain. And right here, this shows when they bought it. It was like 25 minutes ago on the date that they did do it. And it shows where it came from, the Binance Hot Wallet to the Binance Seifu account, and the amount they purchased it at. And if you zoomed out more, I don't think it's going to show it. But if you actually look at the chart, you will see it. So Binance is still buying. They said they were. I think we're now just waiting on Tron. He said he was going to buy more Bitcoin too after Binance announced it. So we'll see. And that actually kind of showed in the charts too a little bit. I love CoinMarketCap, how like they show little bubbles in the news articles. Because if you see right here, prices going up, like what just happened? There's the news. Binance Seifu Fund has bought 1,315 Bitcoin. So you kind of see like how the market actually reacts to certain news out there. So I like following both now, not just the technicals where I'm following like at least this 200-day moving average, really following that, but the news is why I cover it every day. Like that plays a key role too on where the price could swing. And still right now, it's just the news is telling us we're in still a bearish territory, so prices still could go a little down. So just saying. And then lastly, in the Bitcoin little Twitter news I have for you is looks like one of Germany's largest retail brokers, ING, now allows clients to buy Bitcoin ETP, so exchange traded products. So very nice. So Bitwise crypto ETPs invest in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies with security of securities account with Bitwise crypto ETP. So honestly, like this and the Citibank news is really all the bullish news I have on Bitcoin today. But yeah, this is just more adoption like it of. Yeah, sure, it's the centralized side getting into Bitcoin. They're allowing more of their clients in, but that was always the biggest hurdle we have in crypto. It's the on and off ramps. So like having one of the largest banks making it a little bit easier where they're not going to shut down your account just because you got involved with crypto, I think that's a bullish news. So I love seeing that, and I hope more do happen. And then the other bullish news we had was $2 trillion Citibank CFO just said live on CNBC that they will provide crypto on and off ramps. And that's massive news, like I just said. So here he was on CNBC and getting his perspective on the stablecoin prospects. So they're going to be rolling out their stablecoin. Who's it going to be billed by? Well, that's the wait and see. Or will they be using like Tether, Circle, Ripple's RUSD1? So like there's plenty of options and lots of changes going on here in the space. But yeah, so that's pretty cool news that Citibank is going to be making it a little bit easier for the on and off ramps. But that is it for all the Twitter news. I got 3 articles now in the altcoin space because there really was no Bitcoin news other than just more extended news on those Twitter posts. But I was like, these are going to be just short articles. But let's go through some of the other crypto news. Oh, guess I did have a Bitcoin news article for you. But again, fun news. It's pretty bearish. It's not going to be like, it's not going to change the price. But Russia's largest Bitcoin miner, BitRiver, faces bankruptcy crisis. What went wrong? So it looks like a mining company is going down. So what's going down over there? BitRiver, Russia's largest Bitcoin miner, controlling 50% of the market, faces bankruptcy proceedings after a court ruling on $9.2 million debt claim amid the CEO's detention. So CEO's in detention, kind of makes sense then for the company to go down. But BitRiver, Russia's largest Bitcoin miner, controlling over 50% of the nation's mining market, is spiraling toward bankruptcy after a court instituted observation of proceedings against its parent company. Now, the Sverdlovsk Regional Arbitration Court ruled on January 27th to begin monitoring Fox Group of Companies, LLC, which owns 98% of BitRiver Management Company, following a $9.2 million debt claim from the EN Plus subsidiary infrastructure of Siberia. Now, this crisis marks a dramatic reversal for a company that generated over $129 million in revenue last year and operates 533 megawatts of electrical power across 15 data centers and with more than 175,000 mining rigs. So it's kind of a drastic reversal, like they were doing so well. And there was a tweet from BSCN announcing it. And then also CZ, less confident in SuperCycle due to FUD right now. So, that's some more news on that. I didn't see that coming along because last week it was all about the SuperCycle. And now, because of all this FUD, he's kind of changing it up. But let's see what went wrong with BitRiver. Looks like there was an equipment deal that went wrong. So the infrastructure of Siberia filed the bankruptcy petition after BitRiver failed to deliver mining equipment despite receiving an advance payment exceeding 700 million rubles, or $9.15 million US dollars. Now, the company signed an equipment supply contract with Fox Group, but the hardware never arrived, leading to the contract's termination. Now, the infrastructure Siberia filed a lawsuit demanding a refund of the advance payment plus penalties for late payment. In April 2025, the arbitration court of the Irkutsk Regional upheld the claim in full. However, BitRiver's own CEO, Igor Runets, disputes the allegations. Now, according to Forklog, Runets asserts that the equipment was delivered and GC Fox is appealing the court decision. So today they are operating normally, but the shutdowns in December caused significant losses to several group companies, including BitRiver Rus and Story Service Plus, which we also plan to recover from the EN Plus through legal proceedings, said Runnet. Now, despite Runnet's claims, enforcement proceedings against Fox Group uncovered no assets sufficient to cover the court-ordered claims, prompting the bankruptcy filing. Now, as part of a legal dispute between the EN Plus structures and BitRiver's company, the defendants' accounts were frozen, a move lawyers warned could paralyze the entire business operation. And now mining bans and energy disputes compound problems as it continued going. So BitRiver's troubles extended just far beyond the EN Plus debt. Sites located in Irkutsk region are no longer operational following the introduction of a mining ban in the region south. So a 100 megawatt data center in Buryatia was never commissioned, and a year-round mining ban will take effect in the region starting 2026. So they had to stop there too. And then in February 2025 last year, law enforcement shut down a 40 megawatt site in Ingushetia, and that had been operating despite the ban in effect since early 2025. So they were operating illegally, so they had to shut that down. That was this other company. Now, the company also faces mounting conflicts with energy suppliers over unpaid electricity bills. And since August 1st of 2025, the Faraday Group's energy sales company lost its right to participate in electricity incapacity trading and its wholesale market participant status. Now, courts are considering claims sinking 133 million rubles in penalties from the EN Plus Sibit and 640 million rubles from the Irkutsk Electric Good Company for late payments under energy supply. Now, BitRiver CEO has been detained as the empire crumbles. So, amid the unfolding crisis, BitRiver founder and CEO Igor Runets was recently detained by Russian authorities and charged with multiple counts of tax evasion. Runets was charged with 3 counts related to the alleged concealment of assets to evade taxes. And the court ordered Runets placed under house arrest with his legal team given until Wednesday to appeal the ruling. Now, Runets and BitRiver have faced pressure in the recent years, and the company was sanctioned by the U.S. Treasury Department in mid-2022 over its ties to Russia following the invasion of Ukraine, restricting access to Western markets and partners. In 2023, Japanese financial group SBI exited its relationship with BitRiver as it withdrew from Russia. Despite BitRiver's collapsed demand for mining infrastructure and Russia's continued to surge, according to the system operator, the capacity of the miners and data center connected to the grid increased 33% in 2025, reaching 4 gigawatts of electricity. So they were doing pretty good, but by 2031, the annual growth rate of the data center market in Russia could reach 14.4%, according to projections. So there's still more room to grow with the data centers out there, the mining rigs, but with this ban going, again, like everything that lead to this bankruptcy and shutdown was this. It was a tackling on of events that happening. The mining ban, energy distributes. You had a miner out there that was mining Bitcoin illegally because because of the ban of it. So again, this isn't not just a one thing they did. It was just a compound of many different effects going on or things happening to lead to this to happen. Now, what's going to happen? Well, they were the biggest, at least 50% of the mining hash rate for Russia. So what's going to happen is we're definitely going to see Bitcoin's hash rate decrease a little bit, and that's just going to eventually just cause other miners to increase their output, increase their work difficulty. The miners in Russia will probably move to another neighboring country and then just turn back on, and then we get the hash rate up again. So really, it's just going to slow down or lower the hash rate a little bit, and I don't really think it's going to affect the pricing of Bitcoin at all too much. But yeah, so that's what's going on in Russia and their largest Bitcoin miner facing bankruptcy crisis and what's going to go on from there. So I'll keep you informed on what happens as we get more news on this. So that is Bitcoin's largest Russian miner. Now, what else do we have for you? Let's see. It looks like we have Ripple to expand crypto access in Europe with the Luxembourg EMI license. So we're going on the altcoin space and talking about Ripple. What's going on over there? So Ripple, the leading facilitator of blockchain-based enterprise solutions across traditional and digital finance, is overjoyed to announce that it has received a legal approval for an electronic money institution license from Luxembourg's Commission des Surveillance du Secteur Financier, otherwise known as the CSSF, so I'll call it that from now on. Now, the basic purpose of this announcement is to inform users about the official addition of Ripple in the crypto market as an alternative source of trading. We have a tweet from Cassie Craddock, some more exciting licensing news in Europe. A couple of weeks ago, we heard from Luxembourg's CSFF that Ripple had received preliminary approval for its EU electronic money institution license. Now, I can now share that we have fulfilled the conditions set by the CSSF, so they got it. Now, Ripple fulfilled all the conditions set by the CSSF for the proper functioning of its EMI in the entire European Union. Now, Ripple got its approval at a time when its portfolio growth rate was increasingly drastically. Ripple received its EMI license and crypto asset registration from the UK's Financial Conduct Authority, and Cassie Craddock, Managing Director, UK and Europe at Ripple, has released this news through its official social media X account. Now, Ripple positioned at the heart of European finance with the EU EMI approval. With Ripple's approval from the regulatory authorities, Cassie Craddock, Managing Director at the UK and Europe at Ripple, expressed his thoughts that she said securing our full EMI license in the EU is a transformative milestone that reinforces Ripple's presence at the heart of the European finance. Now, Europe has always been a strategic priority for us, and this authorization allows us to scale our mission of providing robust, compliant blockchain infrastructure to clients across the EU. We are now better positioned than ever to help European business transitions into a more efficient and digital-first financial era. Now, Ripple's regulatory dominance paves the way for digital finance innovation. Ripple is standing among the top most licensed crypto companies with 75 plus regulatory licenses across the world. It is no less than a miracle and has its own value in the crypto market. Now, no doubt many other companies are still closed and having a strong competition among themselves, so it's much more difficult to make a distinct name in a highly competitive market. Now, Ripple's company is basically uplifting the standard of a digital solution with authentic responses and shifting legacy technology to its modern digital asset infrastructure. And many other companies are actively participating in the development of the digital assets from traditional infrastructure to more advanced with authentic solutions. Now, today, the whole is rapidly shifting toward an advancement level for every purpose, either it is in digital trading or purchasing. So, yeah, it's a pretty bullish news for Ripple out there. Now, what does that mean for XRP and their other tokens? I know I had a little tweet out there right here, this one. So it was from Coin Bureau, so where Ripple scored the full EU money license. Now, what does it mean? Ripple can now really operate regulated digital payment services across EU nations, and this does strengthen real-world use cases for Ripple's native assets like XRP, XRPL, and RLUSD, which is their stablecoin. So it's bullish news for XRP out there. More partnerships again. Like, do I own any XRP? No, I don't. Why? I don't want it. I don't like the Ripple guys. Like, I don't think XRP is wrong. They're fast. They're cheap. And yeah, definitely faster than Bitcoin. Is it faster than the Lightning Network? I don't know. I don't think so. I would have to do a test by comparison of that. But no, it's like I have nothing wrong with the XRP token itself. It's just Ripple. I don't like him, so I just don't want to support him. But that just shouldn't stop you from being involved with it. If you really like Ripple or like XRP, what they're doing, go for it. There's so many cryptocurrencies out there to choose from. Like, just if you're investing in crypto, be sure to do your research for why you're getting involved with them. Does it have a utility? I always like looking for if it's centralized or decentralized. That might not be on your radar. Adoption news, how many partnerships they got out there. So just always do your research before you invest into any cryptocurrency out there. Because just because I don't want to be involved in it doesn't mean you can't. Just do your research as always. So that's our Ripple news. Now, lastly in the news, just to stay safe out there, especially in France, because this is where we're getting a lot of the wrench attacks and kidnappings in the crypto community, where it's like, what's happening? Like, people try to steal crypto no matter what. But it looks like at this time, a man has been tortured for 16 hours in a botched crypto kidnapping attempt, says the French authorities. So I think all we should really take from this is if you're going to France, leave your crypto behind and be sure you don't mention one word of crypto while you're out there. So if you're seeing the Eiffel Tower, just be sure you keep it traditional and don't bring your crypto. That's all I gotta say, because this is where all the attacks keep coming from. But let's hear what happened and how and who would this happen to. So, French police have arrested 3 men in their 20s suspected of kidnapping and torturing a 74-year-old man in a bid to extort $3.5 million worth of crypto from his son. Now, let's see if I can zoom in and make this a little bigger. So, officers said that the trio abducted the unnamed victim at dawn on January 25th from his home in Voiron. And this is in the Isère department in the southeast of the country, the French media outlet Actu 17 reported. However, the would-be kidnappers aborted their efforts after learning that the man's son was not a crypto trader at all, but actually just a web developer with no significant crypto funds. So these are extreme violent acts that demonstrate a rather blatant level of amateurism on part of the perpetrators, a lure for the victim's family told reporters. Now, crypto-related kidnaps and other violent attacks are on the rise worldwide, and this is particularly the case in France, where 19 so-called wrench attacks have been reported. Wow, 19 so far? Again, like, all these are really happening in France. Like, there was, like, one in, what was that, Nevada, with, like, a Vegas thing situated, and, like, a couple elsewhere, but 19, the majority of this is all happening in France. So what can we tell from that? But last year, French authorities rescued David Balland, the co-founder of the crypto hardware firm Ledger, along with his wife after they were kidnapped by criminals seeking a ransom. Now, it's literally a living hell. Officials told reporters that the 74-year-old endured nearly 16 hours of torture at the gang's hands. Now, police said the trio found 3 17-year-olds who had rented a building on the victim's property for the night in an outbuilding. Now, the men reportedly tied these teenagers up and confiscated their mobile phones, and then the victim's partner managed to hide in an attic room where she remained undiscovered. Now, the victim was forced into a vehicle and then driven to a back room of a bar in Valence, where the assailants reportedly filmed themselves torturing the man. Now, the gang then sent footage of the torture to his son via encrypted messages, demanding that he pay a ransom fee in an unnamed cryptocurrency. And when they eventually realized that the man's son was not a crypto millionaire, as they had incorrectly assumed, they decided to release their captive at 11 p.m. the same day, pushing him out of the car and onto the roadside. And officers said they questioned the bar's manager and the vehicle owner, but released both without charge. Now, the victim has been discharged from the hospital, the lawyer said, with very deep scars, particularly on his face. Now, the septuagenarian had the mindset of a survivor. The lawyer said the victim went through living hell and was confronted by determined individuals who were ready to stop at nothing. So, again, these wrench attacks keep going out there. Again, they're mainly happening in France right now, but again, you don't want to disclose that this can't happen to you. So, just ways to stay safe here is take that self-defense class, carry some type of self-defense weapon on you, pocket knife, brass knuckles, which are illegal, don't do that, pepper spray, just any way to defend yourself, so that way you can at least fight back. And then just in other words, again, don't tell people you have crypto. That is actually a big mistake a lot of people make in the space, where it's just like they're excited. They got on this awesome thing, Bitcoin. It's going to continue to rise over time. It's decentralized. It's self-sovereign. There's no middleman in control. It's run on this technology block. It's exciting. And then you may get more than some others. But again, it's kind of unethical to say that. But rule number one is, though, never tell anybody how much crypto you have. Everyone out there who's like not in it or in it, like, they got an ego to them and they want to know. It's like, oh, so how much do you have? And all you should do is just like, instead of just saying, yeah, I got this much, all you gotta say is, yeah, I dabble in it. Or if I even specifically ask you how much you have, you just go, I have enough. Like I could always use more, but you just never actually disclose how much you have. Like, it's good to talk about and enjoy. It's like different projects out there, but again, rule number one to stay safe in these types of scenarios is just don't make yourself a target. So by doing that, you do not disclose what you have. This is your information alone, just like your private keys and your own self-custody wallets. You're not sharing that information with anybody, because whoever has your private keys has access to your crypto. So just like with the knowledge of you have with crypto, it's here your private key. You don't disclose, you know nothing, you disclose that to nobody. So that's how you stay safe from these wrench attacks out there. And again, there's many different types of scams out there, but this is what we saw right now in this botched kidnapping, which is terrible for that older gentleman. I feel sorry for him that he had to go through that. And again, it's like the people doing this are just informed. They're amateur, they don't know really what they're doing, and so it's just it's scary out there. It can get crazy. So just really be safe out there. Again, like with everything we do, even with projects, like you're getting into a new coin, do your own research, be sure you know what you're getting into, and then also be sure you know how to stay safe in the space. So yeah, but that is it for the news I have for you. Again, bearish news, fun news, nothing so exciting. I'm hoping tomorrow is a new day where we get a lot of adoption and pump news. But as for today, I'm just sharing with you what has happened, what went down today. And yeah, you can, if you guys are going to move some crypto around, maybe some of this news help you make that decision for you. But that's what I do. I'm here just to report the news, keep you informed on what's going on, so that way you know what is happening. But everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. I will be back tomorrow, hopefully at noon. I don't think I have any meetings on time, so I should be on time tomorrow with some more crypto news for you. So everyone, stay safe out there. Love you. Peace out, guys. See you tomorrow.